want to introduce myself before we can start.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Philip. My day job, I'm a UX and UI designer, a web designer. I
Mm-hmm.
making web applications, web systems, and stuff like that. And I'm my hobby or my night job, as my wife says. I'm a home brewer, and I'm building stuff in my house, like systems and fermentation stuff. Basically, I try to recycle things that I found out there, broken fridges and different motors and pumps and stuff, and try to make beer from it.
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm brewing for like 7 years, and 2 years ago, or actually it was 3 years ago, I moved from gas brewing into electric brewing.
Mm-hmm.
And after actually I wrote it in my blog. After the seller in the local homebrew shop asked me something about electricity, he asked me, do you think it's possible to transmit the temperature from the controller into something like TV or cell phone? And I
Mm-hmm.
said, yeah, that's a good idea, let me check that for you. And then I bumped into Cbpi when this was really like the first version. And since then, my life changed completely. I went like, yeah, and I decided to open this Facebook group for
Mm-hmm.
my country people in Hebrew, and trying to spread the word. And actually, I know that during this week, like 4 people advised me how to set up their new Cbpi system. So, Manuel, thank you a lot. Many people are starting to use Cbpi just because of
That makes me proud.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wrote simple questions for you out of my mind. I was home alone with my kid. He was already asleep, and I was like things that was interesting for me. So just wrote them for you. Just maybe you have something in mind, and I will glad like this interview or conversation will be like I'm asking you, but you can take the conversation whatever you want. This is like a guideline.
No problem. So I read through your questions. Of course, for everyone I have an answer. So no problem.
Great.
And if you have further questions, no problem. I will do my best to answer your questions.
Great. Well, so actually I was like introducing myself, but if you have something like to say about yourself before I start with questions, go ahead.
Yeah, well, maybe I give you a short introduction about myself. So normally I'm a software architect, software developer. Normally I'm developing and planning software for banking industry and retail industry, quite complex topics. So I traveled a lot around the globe to install my banking software for different global banks. So this business I'm doing for more than 10 years already. So from the server side to the UI, I've done everything. So at the end in my job, I'm the leader of the team. I'm not coding myself, but in my free time, I try to build something new, develop my own architecture, because my job, the architecture, is driven by the customer, and here I have the flexibility to show what I like to do and how I like to do software, and to combine this with brewing beer. It's a good combination. So that's why I'm started.
Yeah, that's actually a good reason.
Yeah.
So this is how you this is like you started to work on Cbpi because you want to combine your hobby and your like professional doing?
Well, I started this project, so it was in December 2015, so 3 years, more or less 2.5 years ago. And I had this single board computer, Raspberry Pi, in my hand. I said, what can I do with this single piece of hardware? And I thought about, installing the next media center for my television, and that could be an interesting idea. But then I thought, I've done this several times. I never used the system. Okay, I have to do something new. And until this point in time, I have no clue about brewing beer. So I bought some books, and in television, I was there was something about brewing beer, home brewing, and I said this could be interesting. In combination with barbecue, this fits perfectly together to my other hobbies, and that's why I started developing my own software. So I checked, of course, if there's software available on the market, but at that point in time, most software seems to me quite complex to set up, or not in that way I like to do the software. And so bringing in my software background in combination with learning something new, I started this project. I read some books about brewing beer to get the process, to get process understanding, watched several YouTube videos about how to produce good beer, and then I started coding this project overnight.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. So
Yeah.
so you started to work on Cbpi before you actually knew how to brew beer, or it came together?
It came together, to be honest. This is really crazy. So I started I tried the first brew without Cbpi. My first brew, it was a disaster. It was so time consuming to handle all these different processes at the correct point in time. It was so complex to me, and this was important to get the basic understanding what is really important. The first version of Cbpi was only a temperature controller of a single kettle, and this increased until today. But to answer your question, it came at the same time, more or less.
I see. Actually, you said time-consuming processes. I have to say, as myself, as Philip, I really thankful for you for my time, because now I have small kid running around in the house, and I can't brewing I like to brew, but I have time that I need to spend with my family, with my kid, and I just plug the Cbpi and it's just running, and it call me whenever I need to do something. But the rest of the time I'm spending with my family, with my dog, with my kids.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. So how much time you spend on writing the software? You had the first version, as you said, temperature controller, and then the second one, and the third, and now the fourth. This sounds like time consuming, but.
Well, the first version was developed over the Christmas days in 3 days overnight. It was quite simple, but when I started with the second version, it was really time consuming. But the feedback of the community was pushing me to get this done. To provide all the features which are required. And to be honest, if you are in front of a major release version, it's really, really time consuming. Then it's about 2 or 3 months, more or less, my entire free time, which I spent to develop the software, to test the software, to bring the or get some feedback, and at least in the same time I have to answer all the requests of the community to fix the issues, to improve the software.
I see. Well, it sounds like very time consuming. My next question actually is more into I see that as each version that you release, I see that you make more interaction with the community of the users that start to grow, and you open an API or something like. Actually, I'm not a coder, so I know that you release something, and now people can write their own stuff and get it around. So actually, it was from the beginning your thought to make it as a community project, or it's something that you on the go decided to open and for the community to get involved?
Well, the first version was not intended to be that open. It was few lines of code, and I posted this to a homebrewer forum in Germany. And the feedback was very nice. So the next guy is trying to develop a brewing controller. There are several existing on the market. Why are you doing this? then then there was also some very positive feedback, especially from Switzerland, and they supported me a lot. And this brought me to the idea that I need to develop a more open system, because all the other systems are closed, yeah, even if they are open source. But then I thought it would be very, very useful to have a good plugin process that other users, other homebrewers, because I know there are several good developers around the globe, from UI to backend to the integration of hardware, which can easily extend this project. So, for example, I can build the core product, and then the community can add some plugins. This was inspired by this software called WordPress. It's a blogging software. They follow the same principle, so having a plugin mechanism that other users can provide new features. And this is really, really great, because my time is limited. Even if I try to develop all these plugins, I cannot read in all the details and start coding and support them. But bringing this to this plugin concept is really, really a big success for Craft.py and even for the community. I'm so surprised what the developers around the globe have developed so far.
Actually, you said WordPress, and I'm working daily with WordPress, and my clients working with WordPress. And actually today somebody asked me about switching from WordPress to other system, and I said, are you crazy? You have like working stuff that if you have something in your mind, you just go and look for the plugin, and there you go, you start working. And the same thing with Craft.py. I had this in mind that I want my to spend more time with my kid, and I don't have time to throw the hops inside. So maybe I'll build a hopper, drop hopper to throw things inside. And then I just it was amazing. Like after 2 days, it was like a dream come true. So
but the combination around the globe was really fantastic. You have some other guys on the other end of the world, so supporting you, building some hardware and working together. This is really, really amazing.
So actually WordPress is like an open source community and platform, but they have these things like commercial side that people can create stuff commercially. And I just want to hear from you your intentions about Craft.py, because it's basically an open source thing. But do you have in mind to make it some kind of business wise or commercial things around it?
So the basic goal of Craft.py is to provide a free system for homebrewers, so to support the homebrewing community. And well, I get some commercial requests weekly about using Craft.py, and I'd like to answer this request with the next version. There will be a commercial version available, but this is more or less a donation to the project, that I can finance in the future a forum, that I can finance some hardware I need for the development. This is the goal of the commercial version, and maybe it will grow. Let's see.
Okay, so basically,
but until today,
No, so I said you have it in mind, but it's not something like the vision. Like you're not building the next like business around it, but it just will have some commercial sides, because the demanding of the industrial brewing industry, right?
So I'm very open to support this. And for example, today I had a conversation with a brewery from UK. They are using this in the commercial environment, so it's not perfect until today. But they supporting me. I learn I can improve the product, and for me it's important that these commercial breweries are supporting the home brewing community, that they can participate from all the features and improvements, and this is what the commercial breweries can give back to the community. This is very important for me. The most important thing is about the community, make it easy to install, easy to use, have a huge community have an active community, yeah, which can support each other. For example, this is amazing craft beer pub. So if you see, if I don't have time to answer all these questions, the community is so amazing to answer this. This is the main driver, the community, not the commercial side. At least not now. Yeah. So and even for version 4, we will set up I will set up a commercial version. This is more or less a donation to the project. Yeah, main goal is have a free and open system to for homebrewers.
I see. You mentioned that you want it to be easy to install software, but besides software, you have the hardware, and you have the Pi and all the soldering stuff and connecting the Pi to the hot electricity. That it can be dangerous if you don't have the knowledge. I just want to hear about your ideas how to make the hardware stuff easier for people, like maybe to have some kind, like I mentioned in my questions, Brewpi, they have this they have this store that you can buy stuff already made for you, and you just plug and play and install this free open source software. But just I don't know, I'm not like asking you, or I'm just saying that there is a limit of people regarding the hardware. And my fellows here in Israel, they have troubles, and they ask me like questions. Hey, how do I connect the Pi without burning the stuff? So there is a limit about it. So what do you say about it?
The first thing, so regarding the hardware, so there are several extensions boards available for Craft Beer Pi, which make it more easy to connect, for example, the temperature sensors or several actors. So, but it's still the requirement to drive an external solid state relay. So it's the same for the other products you mentioned. Even there, you have to connect and wire up an external relay for the main voltage. Building a plug-and-play system is really complex. So I had several conversations with the lawyer how to handle this globally, and they said, well, if you have an open source free system, it's much too complex, because you need special insurances and quality checks. This will drive the costs up. This is cannot be handled by the current project. So my goal is to provide the software base and have the community to provide this extensions board. And we are planning a new extension board which will change the game entirely, but this is until today secret. So development started. Hope to have it ready in a few months. So to simplify this, we developed the extension board until today.
I see. Well, actually, I think I agree with the lawyers. I'm trying to be very cautious about people that I'm advising them to use Cbpi. And in our group in Israel, I try to. Our group is closed, and I'm trying to ask each person that they requested to join if you are advanced homebrewing, because I don't want people to think that poof, you can brew beer just like pressing on a button on the computer, and then they might get notified. So I'm trying to be very cautious about it.
No, that's even not the goal, but on the other, you can adjust to any single kettle, or if you have 3 kettles or more.
Actually, I heard an American homebrewer saying there is no beer on earth that it's worth to get electrified for. So I think this is like the last question that I wrote. What is the best way you think the users of the community can contribute to this project besides using and sharing the information on the Facebook group or whatever it will be in the future? What do you think is the best way?
Well, the best way, to, for example, adapt the new version, supporting me with the new version, testing the new version, improving the new version, and helping each other. For the new version, we have to migrate all the plugins, so because the API will change a little bit, will be a little bit more easy. But anyways, we have some breaking changes with this. Yeah. This is what the community can do, and so on every continent, different groups. So, for example, established this group in Israel, we established a new group in Italy. They can discuss in a local language. This is a great step. Having a great and big community. This is what they can contribute.
Cool. And I think that one of the maybe the best way to contribute to this community is to send beers, homemade beers, into your house. You just
that would be fantastic, but then I will be drunk all day. Yeah, that would be fantastic. So I got some beers from the brewers in Germany, because for them it's more easy to send, of course. But I'm happy to see all the brewing the brewing pictures, as the setup pictures at Facebook. For example, today when I've seen this award the guy have won in the US about the brewing competition, second place, brewed with Cbpi. This is amazing. Yeah, this makes me so proud. So yeah. Maybe sometime have a chance to visit some country and have a craft beer pie meeting. That would be interesting. So if we, for example, convince enough commercial brewers to, for example, have a craft beer pie meeting in Europe and have a craft beer pie meeting in the US also, that would be fantastic. Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. Actually, today when I was discussing with somebody on Facebook, he asked me something, and I said, why not to come to me? And I'll show you fast. It's like he asked me so many questions, and he solved it really fast. Just come to me. It's like 2 hours ride with the train. And then I said, why not like gather all the roughly users and like fix all the small issues and have some time and meet up and stuff like that. So actually, it's a wonderful idea to make a local craft beer pie meeting. I'll try to make it here.
Yeah.
Make a photo and send it to you. Big craft beer pie sign behind us.
Yeah. Perfect.
Great. Well, actually, I think I'm run of questions. Thank you for spending your evening with me.
No problem.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Manuel.
Yeah. Have a good time. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.